Welcome to the channel. You are watching the BangBets Prediction Show, brought to you by Lit757. College football, Week 10. Let's get into it. Sweaty! Starting the afternoon off, we got Kansas State traveling to Austin to take on the Longhorns. Very interesting matchup here. One of the better games of the day for sure. Over/under sitting at 51.5. I think this is similar to what we saw last week, man, with Kansas and Oklahoma. It's a Texas team that's already taken the loss, that's already shown us signs of vulnerability. And you got a Kansas State team, man, that's just been hot lately. You know, I backed them a couple games earlier this season, and they burned me. So maybe this is the kiss of death for them, but I like the value, man. I like the value at Kansas State plus the 5. Models calling it close with Texas winning, but honestly, I think Kansas State money line might be a decent play this weekend. Let me know what you think in the comments. Here's another game with the potential to be interesting. We got Ohio State traveling to Rutgers. Total sitting at 43.5. Spread at 18.5. But I mean, I just gotta back that defense, man. I know the offense with Ohio State hasn't been the best, not what we're used to seeing, but that defense is elite, and this Rutgers team isn't anything special. So Ohio State asserts their dominance. Give me Ohio State laying 18.5. Lean towards the over. Model calls it a little bit tighter than that, but my gut tells me Ohio State wins this game easily, comfortably. So give me the Buckeyes. Next up, we got Nebraska traveling to East Lansing to take on the Michigan State Spartans, who have been, pretty disappointing this season. Pretty disappointing, without a doubt. This Nebraska team, on the other hand, they're having a pretty decent year, but total sitting at 34.5, really low. Spreads at 3.5. I mean, you just got two offenses here that just struggle. They just don't have it figured out. So I'm going to lean towards that under. It's a pretty low total for college, especially. So I don't really know how to feel about it. It can easily go over. Model likes the over. 21-10 final score, they call it. I do like Nebraska minus the 3.5, but I would sprinkle that down to 3 because, y'all know how I feel about that 3.5 hook. That's an easy spot to get burned in the game like this. So, yeah, tease that down or take Nebraska money line. I think that's the safest play in this one. Parlay that with something, but I'm taking the Cornhuskers in this one. Into the SEC, we got the Arkansas Razorbacks traveling to Gainesville to take on the Gators. Really interesting matchup right here. Total sitting at 48.5. Gators by 5.5. Noon kickoff. Gators got routed last week. Arkansas ain't been making much noise at all. But I'm gonna stick with the Gators here, man. Give me Florida laying the 5.5. Model calls it 28-20, right on the head for the total, but I think we'll see a little bit more scoring in this game than that. Both of these offenses can put some points on the board, help clear that number. I expect it to do so. So give me the Gators by 5.5 and a lean towards the over 48.5 in this matchup. In another interesting SEC matchup, we got the Aggies traveling to Ole Miss to take on the Rebels. Total sitting at 54.5. Spread is at 4. I really like Ole Miss here. They're at home, noon kickoff, and they got a really good chance to really shake some things up with the playoff and the SEC in general. So give me Ole Miss, man, laying a 4. I'm going to lean towards the over in this one. Models calling it 24-23 A&M. I guess me and the model are just not seeing eye to eye this week. Let's see how that translates on Saturday, but I like Ole Miss to win this game comfortably, probably 31-21, 34-20, 28-17, something like that is what I expect in this matchup. But let me know what you guys think about this pick in the comments. Next up, we got Notre Dame traveling to Death Valley to take on the Clemson Tigers. Spread sitting at 3, over under sitting at 4.5. And this one is just a line that really just makes absolutely zero sense. I mean, how in the world is Clemson only 3 points worse than Notre Dame? That just blows my mind. That has to be the lock of the century right here, pick of the week right here. No way Notre Dame drops this game. They have a real chance of building a undeniable case for the playoff, especially if some of these teams lose, like Texas and Alabama. So no way they drop this game. No way they drop this game. Give me the Irish. I'm laying the 3. Model's calling it a little bit tight at 26-14. I think Notre Dame wins this game very convincingly, very easily, without a doubt. Without a doubt, Notre Dame laying the 3 here. So in this one, we got the Utah Utes hosting the Arizona State Sun Devils. Total sitting at 42.5. Spread sitting at 11. It's kind of hard to really get behind this Utah team with the questions at quarterback, the struggles on offense, with the double-digit spread. But this Arizona State team isn't anything I can really get behind either. So I think for this game, man, I just expect a defensive matchup that can go either way, honestly. So for my official pick, I'm gonna probably make it the under in this matchup. Under 42.5 will be the actual pick, and then I'll make my lean Utah minus the 11. So when we do the recap, under 42.5 for this game is what we're going with. So we got Illinois taking on the Minnesota Golden Gophers in this matchup here. Total sitting at 42.5. Spreads at 3. Just another one of those games, man. I just can't really get a good vibe about, a good read on. And whenever that happens, the total just becomes way more appeasing. So for this pick, I'm going to show Minnesota minus 3, but my official pick on this matchup is going to be the under 42.5 between Minnesota and Illinois. And another good matchup here, we got Oklahoma traveling to their in-state rival to take on Oklahoma State. Spread sitting at 6.5, over under 62.5. One thing about Oklahoma, their games hit the over. That's one thing for sure about Oklahoma. So over is going to be a play here for sure. 2 weeks in a row, this Oklahoma team has not covered the spread. And I don't think they cover it here either. Give me Oklahoma State plus a 6.5. Leaning towards total over 63.5 in this matchup. And those are my picks for this game. Number 4, Florida State traveling to Heinz Field to take on the Pitt Panthers. Total sitting at 50.5. Spreads at 21.5. I mean, Florida State, man, this team has just been steamrolling people. One thing for sure, they've shown us that they can cover a spread. 21.5 is a lot to lay. This Pitt team, man, just not a whole lot of good things to say in this matchup. So, guess I'm going to have to do it, man. Give me Florida State laying the 21.5 with the lean towards the over. Finally, the model and I agree on something. They call it 42-17. Florida State over clears, spread clears. I like that score model. Hopefully, the actual final score is something close to that. Just another really good matchup for this Saturday, man. The board is full of great games. We got number 14, Missouri, traveling to Athens between the hedges to take on the Bulldogs. Spread sitting at plus 16.5, over under at 56.5. Georgia, it's been a team, man, that has struggled to cover the spread in a lot of their games. They just got to cover last week against Florida. I really don't see it happening again, man. This Missouri offense has shown us they can put up points, but I know this Georgia defense is going to be the best defense they've seen. So, it's really just a matter of how that matchup plays out. But if Missouri can put points on the board, I think Mizzou plus 16.5 is a pretty decent pick here. 16.5 is a decent amount of points. Georgia's missing their number one option in Brock Bowers. So give me Mizzou plus 16.5 with the lean to the over 56.5 in this matchup. Got Penn State traveling to Maryland to take on the Terrapins. Man, this Penn State team turned into a little bit of a disappointment. Barely scraped by last week. And honestly, man, I really don't know what to expect from them. Their offense doesn't look great. Defense is all right. And then you got this Maryland team who went into their game last week as like a 7-point favorite and then get routed by Northwestern. I mean, they're motivated. They're bouncing back off an ugly loss in front of their home crowd. I don't think they just lay down and let Penn State do what they want in this matchup. So give me the Terrapins plus the 10.5 with a lean towards the over in this game. I feel pretty good about that pick right there just because of Penn State's offensive struggles. If Maryland's able to if they can put any sort of points on the board, this game should stay close. Model calls it 31-24 Penn State. So looks like we're back on track agreeing with things, seeing eye to eye with the model. Number 22, Kansas on the road against the Iowa State Cyclones. Total sitting at 53.5. Iowa State favored by 2.5, which is pretty crazy, man. Kansas coming off that huge win last week against Oklahoma. I watched that whole game. I liked what I saw. I did see a couple concerns with the quarterback, but outside of that, man, Kansas is a solid football team. And I know Iowa State is as well, which is why they're favored in this matchup. However, I can't turn down the value that we're getting with Kansas money line in this game. I'm going to lean towards the over as well. Model calls it 31-27. We all win. Hooray. Would love to see it. Let's see how it pans out Saturday. 12 delivering yet another electrifying matchup. We got the Washington Huskies traveling to South Cal to take on the Trojans. Spread sitting at 4.5. Totals at 76.5. Jesus Christ. Man, oh man. Michael Penix leading the Huskies against Caleb Williams and the Trojans. And, ever since I watched that Washington-Oregon game, man, I really like Michael Penix. I know Washington's had a couple close games over the last few weeks, but I think they take advantage just like every team prior to them. Washington's going to come into this game and take full advantage of this bad USC defense and just have their way, man. There's no way I can back the Trojans here. I'm all over Washington in this game. Huskies laying the 4.5. Over under is so high. I gotta take the under in this game. There's a huge margin for error for 76.5 to just be impossible to reach. And I think the Huskies defense plays better and really holds this USC offense to less than what they've been doing. So those are my picks for this game. Saving the absolute best for last, we got the LSU Tigers traveling to Tuscaloosa to take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Total sitting at 59.5. Spreads at 4. Man, I'm getting excited just thinking about this game, man. This is gonna be a really good one. This matchup is always a treat. Last year, LSU beat Alabama by a point, 32-31. But this year, man, I think it's really hard to get behind Alabama's offense, right? But then LSU's defense has been so bad this season. It's like, well, if if everyone else is having that much success, you know, Milroe and this Alabama offense got to get the engine going. You know, they got to get rolling. But on top of that, LSU, man, LSU's offense has been rolling all season. I'm talking 40 points a game. It's like all season. So I think there's some value here with LSU and the points. But I'm on the money line. Give me LSU on the money line in another close one, 34-31, with the lean towards the over in this matchup. If Milroe and Alabama's offense struggle at all to put points on the board in this game and LSU is rolling, it might get ugly. So give me LSU on the money line. Let me know what y'all think about this one in the comments. This game is gonna shake up the playoff picture, gonna shake up the SEC. You know, just monumental impact. So let me know what you guys think, man. And as always, thank you for watching. Hit that thumbs up button for me. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know what your thoughts and picks are in the comments below. Lit757, BangBets, we out.